What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a while, what, 2 months, I think? And a lot has happened in 2 months. Now, if you've seen the title of this video, I'm staring at what is sitting behind the camera, I guess, technically. And let me give you guys a little bit of background behind this, because I haven't sold, I have not sold the E55. E55 is great right now. I've been trying to get it to pass smog. I can't get 2 monitors, the evap and the heater, to pass. I don't know why. I've put a bunch of miles on it, but I'm still driving regardless. Then we have the CL. The CL is currently a Mercedes, and I'm getting robbed. They were supposed to do like a check on the car, a little check on it or whatever, to program their window so because the rear window doesn't work. And now they called me and said, oh yeah, it doesn't want to start. You need a starter. So that's cool, but we'll get to that when I get the car back, whatever. But today's video, we're talking about the thing behind me, which is a new car that I just bought. Now, if you've seen the title, this is one of the last V8 manual luxury German coupes that you could buy. So you guys probably already know what it is, but let me flip this camera around. That right there is a 2009 Audi S5 V8 manual. So I know, not a Mercedes. What a shocker, right? I like other cars other than Mercedes, but this car is actually, let me just get it out the way, it's actually not for me. So I did buy this car, but it's for my brother. So he turned 18 this year and he wants to get a car finally. He wants to stop using my CL and the E55 and whatever. And I mean, he needs his own car. So he wanted a manual and he wanted something German. And I was like, well, I've personally always wanted one of these because they're really cool. So let's get him one of these. And then he saw some pictures of it online and heard some videos of the exhaust, which we'll talk about, and he really liked it. So I got this one for dirt cheap. I got it from Mannheim, as you guys can see the S on the windshield. I got this thing from Mannheim, and it's of course not perfect. It's got problems like every car I buy, but we'll get to all those things in just a second. But as of right now, I've been driving it for the past couple days. It does have a check engine light, which I'll show you guys. It came on immediately as I started driving it for a pretty common issue on these V8s, but I'll show you guys in a second. But first appearances, the car is a really sick spec. It's black with, I don't know if you guys can see them, the red interior. Super sexy spec. It's got, of course, the 6-speed manual, which is what you want in these cars. The automatic was all right, the 6-speed, but the manual is what you want. That's really where it's at. Now, somebody did do a pretty piss poor job of plasti dip in the front grille. As you guys can see, it's starting to kind of come off, so we might need to either find a black grille replacement or strip this back to chrome and redo it. Headlights, this one looks like it's new. This one looks like it's kind of hazy, which there's the same thing as the CL. When I first bought the CL, if you guys remember, the right driver's headlight was fine. That one was hazy. So yeah, and I figured out what was wrong with the headlights on the CL. I'll get to that in the update video on the CL. But it's got aftermarket wheels. I really like these wheels. I don't know if they're actually BBS wheels or if that's just what the center cap says, but there are some sexy wheels. These are 20-inch wheels. They're 275 30 by 20s all around because it's Quattro, and it's got Nitto NT55 tires on it, and they're brand new. I mean, they got a date code of 2023, and they were just put on last year before the car was dumped. But yeah, let me show you guys a little bit more around it. So of course we have the signature Audi S sort of chrome brushed aluminum mirrors, which it's plastic, but you guys get the idea. Beautiful red interior. I'll show you guys that in a second. Manual, of course. Sorry about that. Ambulance came through, but I was just saying around the rear, it's got a little ducktail spoiler, which is nice. And you guys can probably already tell those. This does not have a stock exhaust. It's got an aftermarket AWE tuning exhaust, and it sounds mental. I mean, let me let you guys listen to it. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Now, the exhaust doesn't fit perfect. As you can see, it's kind of pushing on the bumper. Here, it's actually cracked the bumper, I'm assuming from like rubbing or whatnot, which sucks. So once we get this thing in the air, eventually we'll go ahead and double check on all that stuff. But overall, the car is pretty good condition. I mean, it's clean title, no accidents ever reported, no crazy stuff. G82 M4 over there, nice. But yeah, it looks really nice. Let me show you guys the inside of it. So as I said, this thing is pretty much the right spec. I mean, the only other color that I kind of would have wanted on this is that Sprint blue that they had. Sexy, really like light bluish color, but whatever. But yeah, here's the red interior. I've always been a big fan of the Audi red interiors. They always look really nice. This seat is pretty worn, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. As you can see right here, there's some damage on it, and that part is broken. The bolster's kind of worn, but this we can all bring back. Biggest piece of, I guess, tear damage you could see is this part right here on the armrest on the door. But I mean, that can all be fixed. This actually separates into two, so we could buy the top armrest and fix it, which we will. It is just kind of dirty. I really haven't cleaned the car. I got it on Saturday, came in from California, and I've just really been driving it. So let me show you guys what the interior looks like. So pretty nice. Of course, we have that 6-speed manual, which is really nice. The shifter does have some play in it, so when you're in gear, it does like to move around, which I don't like. I think from what I read online, this thing's got some like rubber little linkages at the bottom of the shift linkage, so we might just have to change that. Hopefully that's just the biggest problem. Let's fire it up here, and as you guys will see, check engine light immediately. The car does have 116,000 miles, and yeah, it also has a tire pressure thing. I'm assuming the tire pressure thing is because of the what is it called, because of the aftermarket wheels and whatnot. But yeah, so it does sound really good. Pretty basic kind of interior. It does have just a regular old radio, no navigation, no nothing, but I mean, who cares? It's navigation from like 2009 anyway. So it does have an aux cord, which is good. No push button start. It is not a premium plus Audi. I'm gonna shut off because it's gonna keep beeping if you don't shut it off. Come on, give me the key. There we go. It's gonna keep beeping, and it kind of gets on my nerves. But yeah, overall pretty nice interior. You guys can probably already see the crack in the windshield. Honestly, I don't really care. We're not changing the windshield. It is what it is. But other than that, the interior is pretty clean. I mean, it just needs a nice cleaning. What I meant to say was it's not all tore up and whatnot, aside from, like I said, that, and then a little bit on the seat. But overall pretty nice. The gear shifter is really good, aside from the little play that you guys can see in gear. The clutch is really good. It doesn't slip, it doesn't do anything. I mean, honestly, really cool car. But let me pop the hood and we'll talk about the check engine light. Now, as soon as somebody sees that badge and that badge, they're gonna assume it's timing chain problems. This engine actually doesn't suffer from the timing chain issues that plagued, like, let's say the B6, B7 S4s. This doesn't have that problem. This one is actually the same, well, it's a derivative of the motor they used in the R8 and the RS4, the B7 RS4. So it's a really stout motor. It does have its own quirks and whatnot. Primarily this stuff here, these high pressure pumps can fail, and they are pretty expensive. I think they're like 1,200 bucks together combined off FCP Euro. Could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. They tend to go, of course, it's got other stuff. Now, this specific car does have problems with oil leaks. Primarily a really bad oil leak is from this valve cover. It actually leaks straight on the manifold, and when you stop after driving the car for a while, you can see some smoke coming out from the bottom, which we're going to get that. I already have the valve cover gaskets ordered. That's already on its way. Probably the biggest issue right now is that one of the cooling fans doesn't work. So it's actually the smaller one on this side. When you scan the car, here, I'll put the codes up. These are the current codes for the car. The car only the big fan works, and it's on like full blast because it's trying to compensate for the other one. I've read online that when you get that code, it just basically means the fan's toast, either the module or the fan, so just replace it. I'm probably just going to order some used fans off eBay or whatever. I mean, it is what it is, and take them off. Now, the biggest problem with Audis, and you guys know this, is that they stuff everything in here, and there's quite literally no room to work. Like, you can't even get a wrench down here. You basically just got to get the whole front end off, which is what Audi actually does, which is not much of a pain in the butt. It's designed for the whole front end to come off, so it is what it is. But yeah, so fan doesn't work, oil leaks, and then it's got a code for the thermostat saying it can't communicate, because this does have an electronic thermostat. I'm just going to change that as well. I think while we take the whole front end off, I told my brother, let's just do a water pump, belts, what is it called, the thermostat, fans and all that, just because we're in there, right? And he wants to keep this car for a while. So last problem of the check engine is the intake. These tend to have a problem with the runners, because they have electronic flap runners that open when you get in on it. And this one, it says it can't communicate, which this is the thing right here. It's hard to see, but that thing right there is what controls them. Once we take the front end off, we're going to take all the wires out and see if there's any frayed wires, just because it says it can't communicate with the intake. So we'll get that fixed. But overall, aside from that, this is a really good car. I got it for, let's just say I got it for less than $9,000. less than actually 8,000. So I got it for a really good deal. The car is a super clean car, aside from, you know, some minor imperfections. This is definitely a way better deal than the CL was, because the CL has its own issues, but this is a really cool car, and I'm glad my brother's gonna get to drive a manual V8, because these things are a dying breed. If you guys know anything about them, as I said, these V8, specifically German V8 manual coupes, are, you can't even buy them anymore. They don't sell them. Mercedes now officially has the CLE 63, but that's all automatic. BMW doesn't sell a V8 car. This competed with the M3 back in the day. C-Class is a 4-cylinder, unfortunately. The new Audi S5 whatnot is a V6. So yeah, funny enough, this actually makes more power than the new Audi S5. The new one makes like 349. This makes 351. So yep, V8 for the win, baby. But let me know down below what you guys think about the Audi S5. I love this thing. I've always really wanted one of these cars ever since I first saw one. My dad worked on one back like 10 years ago, and finally I guess you can say I got one, even though it's only mine for like 4 days, and then my brother's gonna officially own it. But yeah, let me know down below what you guys think. Look out for the next video. Tomorrow or the next day is probably gonna be an update on the CL. I gotta go tow it back to my house because the starter's dead or whatever. So that'll be an update on that. The E55 is doing really good. We'll update you. I'll do an update video on that car. And then, yeah, I think the CL soon might be going, because I have my eyes on an E63 and I'm just done with the CL's problem. So I think the thing's gonna go fly with the birds. But yeah, let me know down below what you guys think about the Audi. I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.